Welcome to Solve It Like a Marketer. I'm Stephen Hobey. This week, I've got a special guest. It's Bruce Sinclair, who's Associate Dean at Humber College. I get asked all the time on the channel from international students how they can come to Canada and study marketing. So here it is. Enjoy. So thank you so much for joining me, Bruce.
Thank you for having me.
So let's start by, I guess, setting the stage. I'm very interested to know a little bit about the history of Humber College, how it began, where it is today.
Sure. So Humber College, we took our first class intake was in 1967.
Wow.
So we've been around for quite a while now. That first class was focused on skilled trades, which is something that we still do offer at Humber. In the 70s, however, is when we started to expand our offerings within the college through School of Applied Arts, Business, Creative Arts, Health and Sciences. Then through further expansion through the 80s, and then I think the next big step really happened in the 90s, where we started to offer uh, degree programs and graduate certificates, so post degree programs. So that was at first was done through some partnerships, such as with the University of New Brunswick, and then of course we still have our Guelph Humber relationship as well. And then within the Faculty of Business, in 2003, the Ministry of Training and Colleges and Universities allowed Humber to offer bachelor degrees, of which I think now we have 15 bachelor degree programs within the Longo Faculty of Business. And then our latest sort of growth expansion was the introduction of our International Graduate School, which is located right in downtown Toronto, as our newest campus, which has also expanded our offerings, especially for our international students looking to do postgraduate certificates.
Yeah, so where was the first campus located?
The first campus was the North Campus, so in
Okay.
Etobicoke, which is the western part of Toronto. It was in northern Etobicoke.
And now you have three?
Now we have three campuses. So the North Campus, which is ever expanding and growing, looks very different than it did in 1967. We also have our Lakeshore Campus, which is also in Etobicoke, but as the name suggests, it is right down on Lake Ontario. So it's a beautiful campus made up of different what we call cottages, so small buildings. It really has that kind of New England liberal arts college feel. So it's quite a
Hmm.
beautiful campus. And then we now have our International Graduate School, which is right at Yonge and Bloor in Toronto, which is, one of the main busiest intersections of the city.
Wow. So how do the North and the South campuses differ, I
Mm.
guess? Hmm.
So a lot of it differs by what program is offered at each campus. So, for example, all of our Bachelor of Commerce degree programs are down at the Lakeshore campus. Our North Campus is much larger and includes all of the different faculties at Humber have classes at the North Campus. At the lake, besides business, we do have our new, well, in the process of being built, creative hub. So like that's our faculty for performing arts, creative arts are down there. So it just really depends on what program you're looking for. They're offered at different campuses.
Okay. So seeing as this is a marketing channel,
Mhm.
let's talk about marketing.
Sure.
So talk to me about your Bachelor of Commerce, which kind of encompasses the marketing degree program.
Sure. So our Bachelor of Commerce in Marketing is part of one of our 15, I think now, Bachelor of Commerce programs. So what is unique about Humber's Bachelor of Commerce programs is that they all start off on what we call a common platform. So the first 4 semesters, I call it the courses that put the BCom into the BCom. So those fundamental core business courses that each student takes. These can be things like accounting, business law, micro and macroeconomics. And then in the your third and fourth year, semester 5 to 8, is when you do your specialization. So this is when you would go off and have courses with the other marketing students and have the specialization in the different marketing areas. So everything from digital marketing to traditional marketing, we'll call it. There's might be further courses on marketing law, social media. Kind of runs the whole gamut to get that well-rounded, I guess, education within the marketing, but also to back it up with all of the business skills. One other thing that the Common Platform does allow students to do is they might get into, say, fourth semester and think, oh, I didn't want to do marketing. I'd really like to focus on digital business. It allows them the flexibility to switch what area of specialization they're going into without having to redo too many, if any, courses at all. So there provides some flexibility in that regards as well.
Mm. And is that a 4-year undergraduate degree? Is that what
Yes,
it
it
is?
is. Yeah.
Yeah. And just let me ask, because you're promoting Humber, which I think
Mhm.
is a fabulous school. How would you say it differs from some of the other schools that are also
Oh,
offering it?
that's a very good question. Um, yeah, I think one thing that I noticed working at Humber, and being part of the Humber community is the fact that it does really feel like a community. I think that from faculty, staff, students, we really try to create a sense of belonging. A lot of our students do not live on campus. They are commuting to and from school. So I think we put a lot of effort um, into trying to create that community atmosphere um, that, is supportive, inclusive, um, and focused on student and student success. Now, I will say,
Mm.
I'm not saying that the other schools don't do that either. I think we are all student focused, um, but I always feel a real sense of community at Humber.
Wonderful. So Humber also has the digital business management.
Yes.
So talk to me about that.
Sure. So digital business management, as you can imagine, is quite a wide field that can mean a lot of different things to different people. So again, it sits on the Common Platform with the specialization in digital business. One thing I will highlight is that it is not what it's not about is like learning to code and actually like creating, say, websites. Well, through coding. It is more about the business side. So, how do you manage your digital business? There is some stuff about creating websites using third-party apps, whether that be through like our partnership with Shopify or using a Wix website. There's also digital media management that is involved in that. So, really, it allows students to be specialized in digital business specifically, but gives them a wide enough range that when they're looking for a job, they can go into many different fields, whether that is a digital marketing field or an e-commerce field, or digital media. They would be comfortable and have the skill sets to go into any one of those areas. It's a very hands-on course that does lots of industry projects as well, which is quite exciting. And that, can be maybe with industry partners who you would not necessarily think of off the top of your head. So, for example, we're working with a bakery right now on creating
Mm.
um, their website and their social media profile. Students in that program have also worked with micro entrepreneurs in Kenya as well to develop
Ah,
their businesses and to teach them about digital business. And so it's quite vast. So
hmm,
there's a lots of hands-on and very cool projects that they work on in that.
I love it. So there's a social good aspect to this as well.
Yeah, since
I love
some of them
it.
do have that aspect to it.
I
Definitely
like
the one
that.
in Kenya did. But sometimes it also can just be working with a local business to help boost their online presence or their digital business
But
capability.
still, right? Supporting
Mhm.
local business, a good
Always
thing.
important. Yeah.
And also, you have a marketing management, which I think you mentioned is a
Mhm.
post grad.
Yep. So our marketing management is a postgraduate certificate. I believe the official credential name is Ontario Graduate Certificate. Those postgraduate certificates are targeted towards people who have already done an undergraduate degree and maybe are looking to do a career change, to maybe do some upskilling for their current role. They are 3-semester programs, so they're quite condensed. Um, so still giving, I'm going to say that the specialization part, giving those core skills that student would need to go into industry. The one thing about our marketing management program is it's offered at 2 different campuses. So it's at our Lakeshore campus, and then we also have it at our international graduate school for specifically for international students.
Okay. So again, let's talk international students because I
Mhm.
have a lot of viewers who are international.
Mhm.
So obviously there's a bit of a disconnect. They may not know Toronto,
Yep.
etc. So they're looking at your website,
Mhm.
which is full of information.
Yep.
What other areas would you recommend they check out?
So I think what uh, some other good places to check out is that we do run virtual information sessions for
Ah,
many of our programs. Sometimes we do cluster them together, but that is a great way for, especially for international students who may not be able to do a campus visit, to at least engage with the program coordinator or some other faculty, and
hmm,
also as a forum to ask maybe some specific questions about different programs. So we run those usually 2 to 3 times a year, and those dates are published on our website. So I would encourage your viewers um, to look out for those. Also, if you go on to one of the Humber program pages, there is a button about how to contact us, which I believe does, in most cases, will send you directly to the program coordinator with their email. And people can always email directly to the program coordinator with specific questions that they may have about the different programs.
okay. And my final question was about getting accepted. So, what is that?
Mhm.
I would say specifically for an international student, what does that process look like?
Sure. So I will also give another plug out for our website here, especially for international students, international.humber.ca. Um, there actually is a great infographic on this page about the application process.
Ah,
So I will tell you a little bit about what it is here. A lot of it is putting in supplying documentation. So again, finding the program that you're interested in, providing sort of your proof of academic standing, looking at any additional program requirements in the business school. Maybe not so much, but maybe some of the other programs might say have a portfolio requirement to them. Um, and the one thing I will sort of emphasize to people who are looking to apply is to give yourself lots of time in the application process. It does take quite a bit of time, especially when we look at getting things like study permits, etc. The wait time can be quite long. So I always do encourage people to apply as early as possible, even if they might be on the fence. Applying does not mean that you're committed to coming, uh,
Mm,
but it can actually really speed up the process. And if you do decide to come, it will also alleviate any stress that might come from waiting for something like a study permit. You can apply directly online. If you go to that if you go to the international.humber.ca, you will see an icon that says apply here. And then, that's the step 5 in their 6-step process. And they actually have a button directly there where you can click to apply.
wow. So it doesn't sound too difficult. I think the takeaway is leave yourself enough time.
Leave yourself enough time. Yep,
Yeah.
that's probably the key takeaway. Yep, it's not a difficult process to apply. It's just really getting all your paperwork in order, and being able to upload it, and giving people as much time as possible.
Great. So before I let you go, any final words of wisdom or inspiration that you
Mm.
want to give?
Um, Well, from a completely biased standpoint sitting here, I do believe that, Humber has a lot to offer. I often think of our two kind of slogans, one which is "We got you." I think especially from the international students. I've been an international student myself, so I know that feeling of moving far away from home, away from family, can sometimes feel isolating and a bit lonely. We have lots of supports here, especially geared towards our international student, again, to create that sense of community and belonging. So, I think it's a wonderful experience to be an international student. So I highly encourage you to look at the different programs, and to apply. Our website is very robust, can answer most questions, but if you can't find the answer, it's very easy to email somebody to get an answer. And I will just say Toronto's a great city to be in. It's a very friendly city. The transit system we complain a lot about, but it actually is quite effective in
Yeah,
in getting yourself around, and it's a great place to be, so I would encourage anyone who is interested, to not hesitate to apply.
wonderful. Well, thank you very much, Bruce.
Thank you very much, Stephen, it's been great.
Thanks again to Bruce Sinclair of Humber College for taking the time. I hope that you found that as informative as I did. As always, please hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notifications so that you know when new videos come out each week. And if you feel like buying me a coffee, you can find that link also below. I'm also on various social media channels. Join me on Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn. In the meantime, let's together, what is it? Yeah, solve it like a marketer.